Hi guys, I'm Dave Loosely and welcome to this Alakazam Video Blog. Now as you can see, I'm all alone this week and Andy, I'm trying to film, mate.
What's going on here?
What are you doing?
What's this? What are you doing? What are you filming?
Oh, I'm doing the vlog.
Right, management takeover. Management takeover. So all you got to do, yeah, little man. No.
Yeah.
All you got to do,
yeah,
is just do the whole smiley thing, chirpy Dave, loosely, whatever, loosely low down, whatever you vlogs, right? And you smile, you do a little happy face, little happy magician guy that you do, yeah? Just like when other blokes here, right? And this, and he's, wait a minute, and that name's not shown, is it?
No.
Right, don't
just
the name
go away, you can't come in and just...
I can do whatever I need to do. And he's gone away, right, swanning off to the West Coast. Yeah, so I've come in,
right.
I'm doing a takeover, website is nearly finished, the shop front is being done as we speak, Andy will regain consciousness soon. He did put up a bit of a fight, Andy. He's breathing, he's alright. So, we're going to roll titles, happy smiley face, just like normal.
Alakazam.
Spellman Kazam. Right, roll those title things.
Okay. Okay, so this week is the Mentalism special. Yeah, because you do mentalism.
I do mentalism, but I also do other things as well. Like, I do a mean curry. I do a good curry. I bake as well. So if you want to do any baking or curry infusion of chicken, we can do that. Or if you want to stick to mentalism,
we'll stick to mentalism this week. Next week we'll do a curry. That sounds great.
Curry, right.
But you have hand-picked some items.
Most of them I hand-picked. These, I did pick these up with my hands. That one, I did it with my elbow. I went like that. It took a while longer, but I did get it with my elbow in the end. Right. So that was elbow picked. But
you have picked for us tricks, and I gave you, basically I said, people are getting into mentalism, maybe a bit scared of where to start with mentalism.
I've seen people cry. They go like, where do I start? And they're going, I don't know what to do, like Boon or a Peak wallet or I don't know, like that, and they get really, really worked up and scared. So no, people do get scared, Dave, and I don't want you to be scared. I want you to be happy with what's going to happen here.
So maybe scared wasn't the best choice of words.
No, maybe apprehensive, or a little unsure, a certain amount of uncertainty. Scared is kind of like more Blair Witch. There's no one running around in the darkness going,
right.
Sorry.
Focus.
Sorry.
Right. The first product that you handpicked is Mind Power Deck by John Kennedy.
Yeah.
This has been out for a little while.
It has been out for a little while. It's a great utility deck is what I call it, because some decks of cards you buy and they do one thing. Yeah. It's predominantly one thing. This deck of cards is universal in that you could use it in a close-up environment. Darren does it on Stephen Fry one-on-one. And then you can do it in a parlour performance quite easily. You can even do it on stage as well. And the lovely thing about it is just how fair everything appears to be. And one of the key things with any kind of mind reading is you want to be hands off as much as possible.
Right.
So obviously, you can get away with riffle forces and all that kind of stuff, but if you can sort of step away from it slightly.
You're saying mentalism is more about presentation.
Yes, it is. Yeah, obviously, when you watch a magician performing, a lot of the time you'll see that they will sort of guide you through the process that's happening. And obviously, with magic, as a loose example, with a ambitious card. Okay, you like the card generally, it goes inside the middle of the pack, no messing around, and square the cards up nicely, just one rotation and the card now ends up back on top. So you're almost sort of guiding them, giving them a narrative of what they're seeing.
Yeah.
Now with mentalism, there's not a lot to see, so your narrative has to be really well thought out. You have to have a good presentation, because really and truly that's all there is to mentalism, is the presentation.
I mean, there is obviously the method, but that is not seen as the effect happening.
A lot of the time, to be fair, I would say that 80% of all of mentalism, method-wise, is really kind of straightforward. I mean, it still requires timing and, you know, sort of the right moment to do things and the right justifications. But I think technically, like coin magic and things like that, I think that is a lot more. There's no doubt about it. There's a whole heap more of dexterity within coin magic or even sort of advanced card magic than there is in any mentalism. Mentalism can use sleight of hand, but it's a lot more the basics, the simplistic things.
That's how you perform it.
Yeah, so a lot of it is what you give across in terms of presentation.
So now saying that,
yes,
you're going to do Mind Power Deck.
Yeah, I'm going to do this is a simple, bare bones performance of the Mind Power Deck. All right. Now, as I was saying, the most important thing is about establishing fairness as well. All right. So before we go any further, I'm going to spread the cards out like this, and you're going to see that there is a deck of 52 different playing cards there. You'll notice that there's a joker there. That was just in the box, but just ignore the joker. But you can see there's loads of other cards. Now, there's no doubt in my mind that when you're looking over this spread of cards, your favourite card might be in there, and I don't want you to think of your favourite card. I want you to sort of almost have a card in mind that you yourself weren't sure that you were going to be thinking of. So people can't say that, oh well, you know, most men think of that card, or most women think of that card. There's no psychological influence there. That makes sense?
That makes sense.
So look, I'm going to spread the cards out again, nice spread. But all you're going to do is look at me. I'm going to spread the cards out. I'm going to click my fingers. You look down, see a card. Yeah, and then look back. I'm not going to look down with you because people think I'm following your eye movements, right?
Okay.
So I'm just going to spread them out like this. Look down.
Yeah.
Got a card. Look away. I'll square the cards up like that. And you can see I'm not even looking down at the cards all the time like I did that. Yeah. I'll even turn the cards face down. So now, if you think about it, there's no way that any sleight of hand can be happening here. Really can't.
No, that is really fair.
That's a spread of the cards. You saw that they were all different. You look down, you've got one card in mind. Be honest with me, the card that's in your head right now, if I said to you to think of that card, would it have been one that had just come to mind, or is it something that you saw it?
No.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
Do you mind if I ask you, what is your favourite card if you have one?
Queen of Hearts.
Queen of Hearts is your favourite card, okay. That's a popular card, right? Hence the reason why I didn't want you to choose your favourite card. The card that you've got in your mind now, the one that you look down at, from those 52 cards, it's not a black card, is it?
Yeah.
Okay, good. I want you to focus in on that card, and I want you to visualise whether it's a high card or a low card, alright?
Okay.
I'm getting an idea it's not a high card, is it? Is it? It's a high card, yes? It's a high card, alright, good. And I want you to imagine that I've got like, like a fountain pen. Yeah, I want you to imagine that I've got black ink in that fountain pen, right? And then I'm going to just shake it onto the table, and a little couple of droplets of black ink goes onto the paper. And I want you to imagine it's starting to slowly morph into the shape of the suit that you're thinking of. So obviously, it being a black card, it's either going to morph into a club or into a spade. And I'm going to say to you that you're now seeing that morph into a spade, right?
Yeah.
Perfect. And I now want you to imagine the value appearing by the side of it. Imagine me picking up that fountain pen, and now I'm literally, it could be an ace, 2, 3, 4, 5, all the way up to king, could be any one of them, and I want you to imagine me writing that in. Now I said to you it's quite a high card, so I know that we can count out all of the low cards. So I'm going to say it could be like a 9, a 10, a jack, a queen, or a king. I'm going to say to you that the card that's in your mind now is the Jack of Spades.
Yeah, it is.
That's correct, yes?
Yeah.
Fantastic. Now, all of that happened in your mind.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Well, yeah.
No, but I mean everything. I mean, even your visualisation of the Jack of Spades happened in your mind.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but you didn't see the Jack of Spades there, or did you?
At the beginning?
Yeah, when I spread it out, you saw it, yeah? That's really weird though, because if I spread, I'm going to do this really slow. I want you to see it again. I'm not doing anything sneaky. If I spread the cards like this, and I said to you, look, just show me where you saw that. There's a jack of clubs, but if I just spread through like this, nice and slowly, all the way through, there's no jack of spades yet. No jack of spades yet. All the way through, no jack of spades. Like I said, it happened completely in your mind. It's weird, isn't it? And that is the Mind Power Deck, or a handling of it.
That is really, really cool.
So there you go.
What I love about that is there is I mean, just literally, that is mind reading how you'd want it to be. You spread, you get them to look, and you know, you can tell them exactly what they've got.
I mean, John Kennedy on there has got a couple of different handlings, but once you understand the principles at play, there's so many different ways you can go with it. I think he does mention a couple of different handlings, but just you'll kind of go, right, okay, so I could do that, I could do this, I could do that. I don't want to go into too much and give away any kind of methodology, but it's it's a good deck of cards. It's one of those things that if you were doing a parlour show or even close up and someone said, could you do something for like the head table, or you know, something, could you do like 5 minutes of stand up or something like that, you could get this out.
You could play it.
Yeah, because it doesn't have to be on. I mean, I spread them across the table, but I could walk up to someone and fan them out, and you can see all the cards are different, and then I can go, look, actually, I'll just run them through my fingers, just see a card, got one, brilliant, and then stop. So literally, as fairly as that, and there, see cards going by, and they're just seeing one.
That is awesome.
So it's a really, really good.
Question for you.
Go on.
People that are new to mentalism and people that have done mentalism for quite a while, are they both going to be good to use this?
I would say the key thing with all of mentalism, everything I'm going to say to you about all of these things, is your presentation has to be good. You have to be able to sit down and work out a presentation that suits you.
Yeah.
And that is, in all honesty, the hardest thing with mentalism, to make it compelling. Technically, I could teach my mum how to do this trick. In actual fact, my mum does this. In her stage show. She doesn't. But no, I could teach my mum.
It's a great stage show.
It's fantastic.
It doesn't do this.
Yeah, it does it. The ping pong. No. So, so wrong on every level. But no, it's one of those things whereby I could teach my mum how to do that in half an hour, and she'd have it down.
Yeah.
You know,
but then it's the performance which takes a little bit of time.
You've got to put your performance on top of it. You can't rely on, as an example, some magic tricks just work. If you imagine, say for instance, doing a $100 bill switch, you can do that silently. You don't have to say a word, just fold it up, and what happens is so apparent, so obvious, that it changes from one note to another.
Yeah.
It doesn't need words. Mentalism does need words. It needs process, but it needs conviction, and you have to master it. But it's not difficult. If you can talk, you can do mentalism. You just have to put thought into it and make it compelling and interesting.
Oh, that's great. Well, that's the first item that we reviewed. So that's the Mind Powered Deck by John Kennedy. So Mike, you're going to now take us through the Boon Writer.
Yes, I am. Yes, I am. Yeah, there's a device, a utility tool, and I call it a utility as well because, again, it's a very versatile gimmick.
Yeah.
There's nothing to really see. We can't show you what this is because it's...
you can do an effect using it, but you can't show the gimmick.
Exactly that. Right. So I'm going to use a pencil. That's not a Boon Writer.
Right.
I'm going to ask you to visualise a 2-digit number.
Yeah.
This 2-digit number must have some relevance to you. Doesn't have to be anything important. It can be something as simple as your door number. Actually, I don't know your door number, but people might think I do know your door number. But the last 2 digits of your phone number, but I have your number as well. So, I don't know, an age in your life, a credit card number, I don't know, a membership number or something like that. Okay. 2 digits. Have you got that? Yes? Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Can you just tell me what it's in relation to? What is it?
It is the last 2 digits of my bank card.
Of your bank card, not your PIN number.
No.
I need that. That's what I want. Okay. All right. Okay. I'm going to write something down. Look away from me a second. Look at me. Okay, all right. All right, now I've written that weird. Okay, all right. Oh, don't look. For the first time, what was the 2-digit number on your bank card?
71.
71.
So 71.
71. And be honest. What did I write down right there?
71.
Excellent. Can I show you guys on camera? 71. You got it?
Really cool.
Focused in, yeah?
Yeah.
Lovely. Okay.
So, I mean, that's awesome.
Yes, it is.
No, I mean...
No, just nothing to see. Whatever. Now, we obviously can't go into too much about what that is, and we don't want to say anything too much about it. It doesn't have to be... It could be any small amount of information that you like. So it could be the initial of someone's initials.
Yeah.
You could after practice you could do 4 or 5 digits.
Yeah. Oh wow.
So it can be that, and when you think about what is in play from an audience's point of view, it's some business cards and a pencil is all that's in view.
Yeah, it's nice.
Which is nice. So it's you thinking of something, and that information is on the card, written down.
Yeah, no, it's great.
That's the idea.
So there are a few different, like if you're looking to get one of these Boon writers, there are different things you could.
There's different versions.
Yeah.
The guys at Alakazam will be able to tell you all about the different versions that are available. The thing that's really important is this is not an instant thing. It takes practice to get used to it, but it is certainly not anything that is beyond the scope of most, anyone really, to be fair. Doing a coin roll I class as being something that is quite technically demanding, but even after a week of practicing, most people can get the basics of a coin roll down. With something like this, any of these sort of Boon writers or any of the writers, you can have a good understanding and a good sort of skill of using them, certainly for something as simple as a 2-digit number, within an hour or 2.
Yeah.
And it's easy to practice. You just get a notebook, scrap paper, whatever, and you sit there and you just practice. You can practice while you're watching the television. You practice when you sit in a bus stop, whatever. Stuck in traffic, whatever. Don't do it while you're driving. We don't condone that.
No, we don't.
But it's very easy to do, and it's a very useful tool because again, it's presentation. It's how you choose to theme it is up to you. I did the thing with you end up being your credit card. That could have been anything. So it is. Yeah, it's a tool.
It's diverse. Yeah.
No, very diverse.
Well, it's impressive. The trick itself is very direct, quick, as you say, organic looking. So that is the Boon writer.
All right. So Dave, you're going to tell us about these fantastic Mentalism DVDs.
Yes, what I'm going to tell you about them is there's 3 of them, and you are going to tell us about them.
Hey, I see what you've done. You've thrown that back at me. That was sly.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Yeah. Obviously, there's a couple of different things, and you mentioned this to me, and we did a video. God, was that last year or something?
Yeah.
That crazy, was it? Mahuna. You remember?
I do remember that. Yeah.
Some people know that it was actually 10 years ago, 2004, that these DVDs came out, and they were DVDs that myself and Peter put together. I just should put out a little notice as well. If it sounds like there's someone shaking a can of rice near the camera, it's not. It's actually pouring down with rain outside, and this is filmed in a tent. So we're in a field.
We didn't get the key to the studio this week.
This is a tent.
Yeah.
Well, I thought Alakazam was just when he opens up the boot. Come on, mate. Get your Alakazam gear. So my DVDs came out in 2004. And I'm not actually going to plug these as a beginner's DVD set, right? Because I genuinely don't think they are.
Right.
But what I will say though is that a lot of people that, and I don't want to name drop, but like Richard Sanders, said to me years ago, I picked up the DVDs and I really wanted to introduce a bit of mentalism into my sort of parlour act. I wanted to be able to offer something a little bit bigger, if you like, as opposed to just sort of magic. And he said that he picked up some really nice pieces from it, as did Jeff McBride.
Anyone else?
So,
while you're here,
John, my next door neighbour, he loves them. He thinks they're brilliant. So, whilst I would say that that's not, if you're just getting into mentalism, I wouldn't get that set. However, if you are a magician or a seasoned performer, but you want to introduce some mentalism into a parlour performance, or maybe a couple of that is heavy rain out there. It is actually dripping in. So that my DVD set is better for someone with a modicum of performing experience.
Okay, that's fair enough. So for the people that don't have a modicum of performance experience, what would you recommend?
I would say if you don't have a modicum of performing experience, what I would say is you can actually go over to something like that, which is almost like a planchette of impromptu mentalism.
So on this planchette of mentalism is yourself and Peter Nardi, and you have put some routines together.
Essentially, yeah. Basically, what we wanted to do was the unexpected. We wanted to create a DVD which kind of solved what I said earlier on about being able to perform at a moment's notice.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the idea of someone saying, "Oh, can you read my mind?" You know, if you don't have your Boon writer, you know, you could grab a few bits and pieces together, a couple of business cards, which you can find. I mean, people have them in their wallets, you know, whatever. A couple of coins, maybe a banknote or something like that, and you could end up doing some of the routines that are on this.
So literally, from stuff that's lying around or a few bits you might carry with you, you can prepare. You know, you can perform at a moment's notice.
Yeah, I mean, some of these routines on here are literally the preparation is something you could do in front of someone. As an example, one of the routines on there, which is, hang on a second, let me find it.
I will just say while I was looking for this, I have watched these. I put one out the other day. No, I think this is a good point, right? Because even if you're not into mentalism, it's one of the funniest things is watching you and Pete on this TV.
I know, we are so funny.
No, I'm being serious. No, it is hilarious.
Thank you. Unscripted, I should point out, much like what we're doing now. So you can probably tell.
Actually, quite annoying.
But there is a routine on there called Feel. Yeah. And Peter Nardi last week did his performance, or was it not a couple of weeks back, of the Common Sense, the perfumes?
Yeah.
Feel is based upon that. And it's a sort of an improvised version. And what I mean by sometimes the preparation can be seen, it's like if I was sitting down with you, we were in a restaurant, and say we were on our first date, yeah, which is, you know, we have actually.
We've had it, yeah.
But you could literally grab some business cards or some cards from like the restaurant, you know, near the bar or where they've got the mints. Grab some business cards and borrow a pen and then write down the things and then go into the trick. But you could watch me do all of that preparation.
Yeah.
So it becomes an impromptu effect.
Yeah.
So there's a number of different impromptu effects on there, covering from things like predictions of words, thoughts, what choices people will make. There's one where we even predict a drink that someone will choose, which is perfect when you're in a bar.
I can see that.
Now, in terms of this as a recommendation for beginners, is the DVD itself. The methodology on at least 95% of this is way easy. Right. It's really, really simplistic stuff. So in terms of any dexterity, there is none. It's just a case of getting comfortable with the routines. And the one thing that I would say again about mentalism is get comfortable with your presentation. That's all you have to do. Get comfortable with the presentation. If there are any moves as such, normally, get away. Normally they're quite minimalistic. Yeah. So get your presentation right. You almost get it in your head so you're bored of it. You know. So when you present it, it's so easy. It's like, you know. Yeah. So that is the unexpected, which is a good DVD for people that are beginning, but also people that maybe want to have a couple of things that are
always on them or ready to go.
Yeah, ready to go.
Cool. And then the last one we're going to be talking about
is Get Nyman by the man, the actor, the writer, the magician, the mind reader, the aerobics instructor. That is Andy Nyman.
He's an aerobics instructor.
No, he's not. That was no. Actually, I've got video of him in a leotard, but he wasn't doing any instruction. Andy Nyman, for anyone, and the reason why I mention this is, again, this DVD has got some things that are maybe a little bit more advanced, slightly, but some of the routines are certainly quite simplistic in terms of the procedure that you have to go through. The reason why I recommend this as a good purchase for someone starting out in mentalism, even someone who's a seasoned performer as a magician, or someone who's really just going, I really love the mind reading and I want to get into that. Andy Nyman is an actor, and he's a fantastic actor. Therefore, his writing skills and his scripting skills and his presentational skills are fantastic. He's really good fun to watch. It's interesting watching Andy Nyman perform. And obviously everyone will know Andy Nyman as one half of the Derren Brown Andy Nyman team, and they write and produce...
Probably the Andy Nyman half, isn't it?
He is. I think he does veer more towards the Andy Nyman half, but I do understand he has crossed over a little bit and nicked a little bit of Derren. So you totally throw me. But presentational wise and watching Andy perform is a lesson in itself. So highly recommend that, just to understand. I mean, there's great material on there as well. It's really a fantastic interview on there as well. I think Mark Paul hosts the interview. So genuinely a really good DVD for presentation. So that's Get Nyman, again, an Alakazam release, and that's again 10 years old, but just as relevant today as it was back then.
Absolutely. All the stuff that you may have, if you're new to mentalism, this is new to you.
Exactly.
So, there are 3 fantastic recommendations, 2 slightly more so.
That one, honestly, it is for the
great.
if you're a mastermind reader, get this. If you're not,
I mean, the thing you must say about this is how much material is in.
There is a lot of material. There's 4 DVDs in there, so there's a lot of material. Covers close up and stage, predominantly stage and parlour. Which a lot of DVDs actually don't do.
These are more close-up, aren't they?
They are more close-up. Andy Nyman presents his whole set in a more, it's a parlour-style performance.
Yeah.
But some of the material on my DVDs, you could present for 200, 300 people on stage, and actually you could perform in a theatre.
Fantastic.
So that's that.
Well, there we go, guys. There's 3 DVDs that you could pick from to get started or take your mentalism a bit further. So while you're here, my friends, I thought I'd make the most of it, ask you a few questions. So these are bits that you picked up in the shops.
Yes.
But if people, they pick up a few of these and they're thinking, well, where do I go now?
Okay.
What's a good book? What's a good place? Do you have any more recommendations for these guys to check out?
Yeah, absolutely. I think one of the most key things, and I think it's the same with magic, if you're going to do card magic, I always say one of the best things to do is go and pick up Royal Road to Card Magic or Expert Card Technique.
Yeah.
Right? Those books are years old, but as I say, they're not classics for no reason. They're classics because they teach you the foundations, and there's just something about those books that you need to have them. Equally, if you're a coin magician, you'd sort of say Bobo's Modern Coin Magic, right? Again, a classic book. And in mentalism, there's the same thing. So you've got 13 Steps to Mentalism by Corinda, which you guys do sell.
Yeah.
And you've got Animan's Practical Mental Magic, sometimes known as Practical Mental Effects. There's a different publication, but the contents is the same. Again, great books. And so they're the ones that I would sort of really hone in on. Psychological Subtleties, which I saw on the shelf as well. The only reason I didn't choose those to bring in here is because I think... Actually, no, I do think they're good, valid books as well, actually, the Psychological Subtleties book. But I would read them in order, 1, 2 and 3 by Banachek. Contributions by lots of different performers, and a lot of it is based upon the psychology of magic, of mind reading, as opposed to using technique. Sometimes you're using wording.
But you were saying earlier, I think we touched on a couple of times, that psychology and the actual performance of it is more than the technique of a...
Absolutely.
So it might be worth that actually being a great book.
I've got them in my collection. I've read them. I read them again. They're there now as reference for me. They're really valid books. So they're good resources. Theatre of the Mind by Barry Richardson, great book. He's got the second book. He's got the Curtain Call book as well, which again I saw on the shelf. There's so many things. But if you're into mentalism or you're just getting into mentalism, I would say get a feel for it. Sort of study some of the classics. Now we're in holiday season. It's August time now, so it's holiday season. So best time to buy a book in my mind is before you go on holiday. So you just chill out on the plane, reading the book, on the beach, reading the book. It's a great time to catch up on your reading. So they're the recommendations. That's what I would suggest. And the guys at Alakazam know about all the Bob Cassidy stuff. The DVDs, the books and everything else, so you can go down that road. Obviously Richard Osterlin, Max Maven, you know, I'm not going to list off every name. I'll be here for 10 minutes listing off every name that I can think of. But, you know, the guys at Alakazam, you guys all know what's that. And Peter obviously is a massive fan of Mentalism, so he knows a hell of a lot as well.
And he's very good at the performance side.
Absolutely, fantastic.
Right, well, thank you so much. I hope we've cleared up, or you've cleared up for them, a great place to start for Mentalism. We always have a laugh when we get together. So thank you very much, guys, for watching this vlog, and we'll see you next week on the Alakazam Video Blog. Is that alright then, or?
It was alright. I think when you're doing it with Peter, you are a bit more smiley, if I'm honest. And
right.
But you let me speak, and that's the most important thing, because, you know.
Right, okay, well, so this whole takeover, you're not really overtaking the website now?
What, the website and shop front and...
Yeah. Spellman Kazam. And that's not going to lift off, is it? Let's be honest.
Listen, obviously I'm joking. It's a joke, it's a little gag. I just thought I'd come down, nothing to worry about, alright? Now, you have got some sweeping to be doing. So, you know.
Right, get on with it. Thanks.
Yep, lovely.
Cheers.
Right, I'm just going to go outside and just